This is the Seller Process Podcast, where we talk about the best systems, processes, and SOPs for your Amazon business so that you can regain control of your time, build up your team, and scale your e-com empire.
Hello, entrepreneurs. If you're looking to step up your sourcing game by learning the techniques professional sourcing agents use to find and vet Chinese suppliers, then this episode is for you. Our guest today will share with us how to effectively deal with factories, build relationships with them, and secure the best prices. I'm joined today by Jing Zhu, the founder of jingsourcing.com. Together with 100 plus staff members, he helped thousands of clients source goods from China in the past 8 years. Welcome, Jing. How are you doing?
Hi, Marco. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. All good. I'm very happy that we're having this call because you're obviously born and raised in China, so you really have great insights on this topic. So you also wrote this ebook about sourcing in China, which we will share with people today. They will access it through our show notes, so they will find the links. We'll remind it a few times, but we're always talking about systems and processes in this podcast, right? So I know you have you developed several systems in your agency. You have a sourcing agency, right? So you developed several systems to vet and find suppliers. So I would like to start from there. What is your process to correctly vet a supplier in China before we decide to work with them?
So how to answer this question as a foreigner or answer this question as a sourcing agent like ourselves?
So I'm curious to have the perspective of how you're doing it, so that we should tell people, foreign people, how to do it themselves as well.
To correctly vet a supplier in China, and I have a list of things you can do. But I think the most important thing is the supplier background is very important. Like you need to deal with the supplier which best match your current stage, at least your current stage. Because for example, like sometimes if you want to order maybe 100 or 50 or 200 pieces, in this way you cannot deal with a real manufacturer. So in this kind of situation, if you only want to start with very small quantities, so you have to buy product from wholesalers. But if you have budget to start a business, for example, you have over $1,000 budget to start a project, then you can deal with the real manufacturer. So you don't need to deal with the wholesalers who always sell you the inventories. And for example, if you have a large budget, for example, like $100,000 to start with a project, then you have to find manufacturer in bigger scales. Because once the business goes well and you need to increase a lot of orders, otherwise you will face the risk that the manufacturer cannot supply the product in your time requirement. So it's also will be very dangerous because you will face the problem of shortage. You have a business plan, so you need to figure out what type of supplier that best match your business instead of always go with the lowest price. So price is important, but not the most important thing. So if the manufacturer price is reasonable, if the supplier price is reasonable, then you can go with it. So firstly, you need to understand supplier's background, like the business types, like years. Like for years, I prefer for us as a sourcing agent, we prefer to deal with the manufacturer at least as 3 years experience, at least have 3 years business background for their company. Okay. And for example, like sometimes you find suppliers on Alibaba, a lot of trading company in China, they will register new Alibaba accounts like every year. And they will test if this account can track a lot of customer or not. Just like how you do on e-commerce. They will register a lot of new Alibaba accounts. And
why would they do that?
Because they have a bigger chance to get new customers.
So they run together at the same time, multiple accounts on Alibaba? Oh.
Yeah, just like how you do e-commerce. So a lot of trading companies, they register a lot of Alibaba accounts. So especially when you are searching for some trending products, you will find most of the sellers, they are like registered like 1 year or 2 years ago. So
Yeah.
in this kind of like supplier will be not very stable. So if you buy product from them and for the first order is fine, but when you want to like place return orders, then maybe they will like disappear if the business didn't go well. Yeah, they just close their stores.
Right.
Yeah,
So
because
how
yeah.
actually can we know that? Because you said they open multiple accounts. So in the account on Alibaba, it's written they're just open for 1 or 2 years, but maybe they're like
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
10 years
So
old supplier.
yeah, it's better to deal with a supplier which has like at least 3 years old.
Okay, but
Yeah,
how do we know that?
yeah.
Because they are opening
Okay.
accounts all the time, right?
Yeah, because you can like Alibaba is not free for suppliers. They need to pay like around $5,000 US around
Okay.
like $4,000 US, 4 to 5,000 US for per year. And you can go to the Alibaba suppliers like contact page. You can find their company information and also the how many years for the Alibaba membership. So you can find how many years they are on Alibaba. At least they have this account. So the years are very important, and also the country they have exported. For example, you're selling product to America, and some product they have. If you want to import and selling in America, then you have to prepare like certifications, like FDA certification, FDA registration, like a lot of regulations. So if a supplier has experience exported to the country that you want to sell, then they will tell you like what certification you need to prepare, right?
Right, for sure.
Otherwise, for example, yes, if the manufacturer they mainly sell product to Japan, and even though the quality is good, but you are not allowed sell to America, and the supplier have no idea about like what kind of certification you need to provide.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
that's
one
important
thing
for sure.
and also like this is the supplier background is very important. Then the second will be the communication. Like when you are dealing with the suppliers, usually the sales from trading company or manufacturers, they are very young, like graduate from the school or maybe only have like 1 or 2 years experience. And also the personality is quite different. And what we think is a good supply is they should have very like good communication that they can understand your requirement. It's very important. So good communication can make your life easier. You can just tell them how you want to customize the product, how you want to package the product, and they will help you find the solutions.
Okay. How do we make sure that they have a good communication? I mean, just emailing them through what we see by emailing them. What would be the way to measure that?
And the very simple solution, the very simple way is, for example, like you want to require a project, and you will tell them like a list of requirements. You can see how do they respond. If you tell them like you have 5 requirements on how you want to package the product, how you want to change the color, change the material, right? Or how you want to like ship the product, or you want to know what is the estimated shipping cost, and just see what's their response. If they can answer every single of your question well, that means they have good communications.
Okay, I know what you mean. Yeah, okay. So it's also about like their knowledge, how competent they are with their products.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
And also like when you send a lot of requirements, like if they are don't have a good communication, then they didn't understand your requirement well. And in return, they will ask you other questions, or they maybe just answer you some of your questions, but just ignore. They don't know the answer. They just ignore it.
Got it.
So this kind, Then you will feel out like this supplier didn't have very good communication. So this is very important. And I think it depends on the supplier's background and also his personality. Okay. So if you are expert on a certain product niche, then it's fine that if the supplier is like didn't have very good communication skills, because you will tell the supplier, you will like tell them like how to do for the next steps. But if you are like a beginner for this product niche, then it's better to deal with a supplier with good communication skills.
Of course. Okay. Got it. Yeah, makes sense. Do you have any other points during your assessment that you go through?
So, and also in my ebook, I have written around like 7 different methods to evaluate the supplier's background, like to verify if they are good. And also another thing is very important is the samples. No matter what supplier costs you, at least you need to get a sample from each supplier. Yeah. So if their price is acceptable, not like too expensive than your budget, if it's still acceptable, yeah, just get a sample from each supplier and you can compare the quality. And also you can see like have the ability to make like a good quality product. Then you can verify from their samples. And if it's a customized product, you can ask the manufacturer to customize according to your requirement. And sometimes the manufacturer told you that they can make the product perfect during their massive production, but the sample is just you for a reference. But in this kind of situation, you should be very careful. My best suggestion is you always need to get the sample exactly the same as your mass production. Then you can be convinced that this supplier is able to deliver a good quality product.
Exactly. Yeah, totally agree. And I had some experience with that. Yeah, so definitely that's a great suggestion. So actually, there's one more point that I'd like you to touch because I think it's very interesting. Many people might not know that China is divided in clusters. Actually, I told you I lived in China for 6 years. And I know the supplier location is also important because there are clusters of by industry. So some cities have some industries where they produce certain products. So how people should look at that? Should they? How should they find the suppliers based on the location where they're in?
Of course, like simplest way is search on Google, and for most product categories, they are located in the east coast of China. For example, if the supply is not from the east coast of China, then they are like have higher chance to be the trading company, like not the real manufacturer. And another thing is what we also use that when you search a product, you just find out like where are the most manufacturer from. Most of them they are created in the same city. Then that city probably be the like industrial cluster for that product.
Right.
And for the location, you can go to their supplier's profile page. You can see their location, or you can just tell their name. And because for Chinese companies, all Chinese company name start with the city's name or the province name.
Right. Okay, good. That's actually good to know. And guys, remember that you can download this ebook that we're talking about in the show notes of this episode. You will find it at thesellerprocess.com. You can find the link to download this ebook, or in the YouTube description, you will find a link as well. So in this ebook, actually, there is a map of China with all the clusters. So I really suggest you to go download this because you will find, in which city there are different, what kind of industries there are in each of these cities. So you can actually bet, to understand whether your factory might be a real factory or it's a trading company, or just maybe targeting a specific area during your research whenever you're looking for certain products. So yeah, that's actually very helpful what you put together in this ebook.
Thank you.
So I'd like to ask you about the, so now after we vet these suppliers, and now let's say we picked one of them, and so we would like to move forward with this supplier, and we would like to place our first order. What are some of the what is the process we should follow in terms of analyzing what are the most important elements that we need to confirm before to place that first order?
Okay, so I like to say like first you need to assign a like NDA or and if your product has some intellectual properties. For example, your product have some like own designs, right? That's very important. And also a very important thing is that if your product have a brand and you have a big budget to start the project, then make sure that your brand get registered in both the country you want to sell and also in China. Some of the clients they have bad experience about this because they just ignored the trademark in China. The trademark in China is cheap. Just takes like $300 to register. And yeah, even for like some big brand, for big brand, like they ignore this. They didn't register the brand in China. So some like their competitor or some manufacturer, they will register their brand. That makes the original brand owner, they are not allowed to make the product in China and export it out of China.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so,
That's very interesting.
So yeah, if you have plan to build a brand, so you need to register the
trademark.
both the trademark for both China and the country you want to sell. Yeah, and
Okay.
also like register brand in America, like just cost you maybe a couple $100. It's also cheap. Yeah. So if you have a plan for building a brand, you need to do that. Then you contact with the manufacturer.
Okay. That's a great tip actually, because I think most people don't do that. Okay, that's great.
Yeah. You don't need to wait the Chinese brand become valid. Once you apply for the Chinese brand, Chinese trademark, then you can like start connect with the manufacturer to inquire the product, because you're already the first one to apply this trademark in China. Yeah, even though it's not valid yet.
Got it. Yeah.
That's
a great suggestion.
Yeah. So the first thing, and then like sign an NDA if you own if the product have your own like intellectual property, and also sample, as I mentioned, like you need to confirm the sample. Like you like the supplier quality, and if you want to develop product, you need to ensure the manufacturer can make the product which is exactly the same as the mass production. So this is also very important. And then you need to confirm the lead time and the delivery time. Because for shipping product, for lead time means how many days this manufacturer need to prepare, need to do for the production until the goods is ready to ship. You need to confirm with them. And also you need to ensure the delivery time, because a lot of suppliers, they won't explain too much about the shipping method they use. In the ebook, you can learn all the shipping solutions that like we commonly use. And their time, different shipping solution has quite different delivery time and also the cost. Even though like for sea shipping, like they have some like the most traditional way, they takes like 2 months, like 1.5 months to America, and they're also like a faster shipping way. Like they will combine sea freight shipping and the local UPS in America, which is like much faster than the traditional sea shipping. So sometimes the supplier will quote you the expensive sea shipping, which is like sea shipping plus UPS, but they will ship you in a slower solution. So you need to, you see what I mean? You need to confirm with them like which shipping solution they use and how many times that they will guarantee to deliver.
Got it. Okay. Actually, the way we do it is to basically have those two companies separate. So basically, we have our own freight forwarder and the Chinese factory. So we don't always trust the factory to arrange the shipment for us, because we can make much better deals with our freight forwarder, right? So but that's actually a great tip to give people, because maybe they're using the shipping method from the factory that's suggested by the factory, but maybe it's not the best one. So definitely it's a good tip for everyone.
And also another important thing is you need to confirm with the supplier or with your own freight forwarder that if the product is allowed to ship, like what kind of regulation does this product have for shipping? It's also very important.
For sure. Before placing the order, actually, because
before placing order,
the factory doesn't have those kind of
Because sometimes, for example, there's one customer, he used to order like a Christmas gift. And inside a Christmas gift box, and inside the box, there is a wood, like a
piece of wood,
a cut of wood, a piece of wood, which is not allowed to import in a regular way.
Right, exactly.
So he didn't do any research and didn't confirm with the supplier, and then it turns out like no freight forwarder can help him ship the product.
Crazy. Okay, that's also really good to know.
You need to like ensure with the freight forwarder or manufacturer.
For sure.
And ensure with the party who help you handle shipping. You need to ensure with them if your product is fine for shipping, and if your product considered as like a special product, like For example, you have, the product contain the lithium battery, then it's not allowed for air shipping. Yeah, you need to confirm shipping first, then place order to the manufacturer.
Got it. Okay.
Otherwise,
Okay.
otherwise maybe you need to change another product.
Yeah, that will obviously be a bad surprise after paying for the full
and
batch.
not okay. And another very important thing is you need to have agreement with the manufacturer about the defect rate, because the seller and the buyer, they will have different perspective about what kind of product considered as a defect. So you need to confirm with the manufacturer first. For example, you can list a list of different type of defects and send the list to the manufacturer. And when they see it, some of them they will figure out that that's too strict. And if you want the manufacturer to avoid all these defects, then they need to, maybe they will increase the price.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, you see what I mean?
Yeah. That's interesting.
Because,
I've never heard of that.
Yeah. So you need to have an agreement with the manufacturer first. Both of you have confirmed what kind of defect is not acceptable.
Right.
Otherwise,
Okay.
the manufacturer, they will excuse that we didn't agree on on this type of defects. So then they will have conflict when you are receive the product that you don't want.
Good. Yeah. That's really a great suggestion. Yeah. I will actually use that in my during my sourcing. We have actually the time for the last process I would like to cover now. So after confirming, the first confirming the factory and knowing what to look for before placing the first order, how do we go about negotiating better payment terms and better pricing, and building the relationship with the factory so that we can get better prices and better payment terms in the future?
Okay, so firstly, for negotiate a better payment term, usually you didn't get a better payment term at the first order. No matter how much order you promise the supplier that you will place, they will not negotiate the better payment term for the first order. So you need to show your supplier that you have the potential to place order in a long term. Continuous orders is much better than large orders. The best time to negotiate will be, you can mention better payment term at the beginning, but you can require it when you place the third orders, the second or third orders. You can require them to offer you better payment term. But you can mention it at the first order. You can mention it, but you don't require it right now. But maybe after after 3 orders, you can negotiate a better payment term.
Interesting. Okay.
And also for better payment term, for suppliers, they always prefer to get higher percentage of the deposit. Then they are willing to offer the longer time for deposit. They will accept for the longer time of the balance payment.
Okay, so that's a way we could negotiate. So basically, increasing a little bit the deposit, but have the balance payment in 36 days.
Because when the supplier accepts you to pay the balance after you receive the goods, that means most of supplier, they will buy the export insurance. So for example, if your company bankrupt, you are not able to pay for the balance, then supplier, they can still get compensation from insurance companies, which will cover 80 or 90% of the goods. Yeah, that means in that case, the supplier still didn't lose money.
Okay,
so
got it.
They prefer to receive higher percentage of the deposit, then they are more willing to offer longer payment term.
Got it. Okay, and then just a few tips on how to improve the relationship with our suppliers so that we can get better prices besides payment terms.
Improve relationship versus get better payment term, they are independent.
Yeah,
they are independent. So better payment term, you need to have a longer relationship with them. You need to play continuous orders. The more order you place, and they can get a better payment term. But for maintaining relationships, I have some ideas. So like the most important thing is like you should be like nice to the suppliers. You need to show the supplier that you understand their situations instead of like some importers, they will like blame the supplier. Whatever problem happened, they just blame the supplier. So yeah, and in this kind of situation, the supplier will feel quite sad. Like sometimes it's not their fault, but some importers, they will just blame the manufacturer. Yeah. So and that didn't help the relationship. So yeah, be nice because sometimes our agents will tell me that they'd like to share their customer stories. They'll tell me that he really liked this customer because they always like understand our agents' difficulties, and sometimes they will ship us some gifts. Every month we will receive gifts mail shipped from our client's country, and they are very simple daily products from their country, which is not able to buy in China. But our agents, they will feel very special. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, and also you can share something about your life. You can, yeah, that can help you build relationship like beyond the business. Yeah, you can share your daily life with the agent, like what did you do and what do you do in like weekends or families, and they will feel that this customer is so real. Yeah, maybe Chinese supplier, they won't share too much. Like some Chinese supplier, they won't share too much about their daily life, but they like to see what's foreigners' life about. Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's interesting. That's those are things, applies to everything, in life. I think, we need to kind of show our vulnerabilities and show that we're real humans with the people who we would like to build a relationship with. Okay, cool. So I think we covered a lot, and then we're actually running out of time. So people might be interested to get your help in sourcing, or they would like to learn more about how can you help them. So tell them what can you offer them, and how can they reach out to you.
Okay, so we have a dedicated link for the seller process group, and the URL is jingsourcing.com/a/the seller process. If you want to source any product, you can send us the specification of your requirement on that page, and you can get like $20 coupon for our service fee, and also we will find that you are from the seller process group, and you will have the higher priority to get agent to support your project.
Wow. Okay. That's great. Yeah. Good to know. So guys, remember you'll find these links in the show notes, and remember to download the ebook that Jing is sharing with us, because you will find really a lot of great information about how to negotiate prices, how to find and vet suppliers, how to build relationship, and so on. Thank you, Jing, for sharing this with us again.
Thank you.
Thank you. So guys, remember the key to success is to emulate the best. So take home the tips that Jing just shared with us and apply to your business. Remember to download the episode materials at thesellerprocess.com or in the description of the YouTube video. And I wish you a productive week, and I'll see you in the next episode. Hey entrepreneurs, I hope you enjoyed the episode and learned something from the interview. If you're serious about creating systems for your business, automating processes and building up your team so that you can transfer the tedious daily tasks in order to focus on more high-level strategic tasks and work on your business and not in your business, I've created a guide for Amazon sellers named Capturing Systems and Creating SOPs that you can find at thesellerprocess.com/systems ebook, where you will learn how to leverage systems and SOPs in your Amazon business so that you can accomplish more by working less, optimize your time, automate and delegate tasks, and reap the benefits of being a true business owner and not simply an operator in your own business. Go download the ebook at thesellerprocess.com/systems ebook and start implementing all the tips and insights that I share with you. And leave us a review or a comment to let us know how the content we are sharing here is making an impact in your business. And have a productive week.